Hello, my children. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. So, it's my request that please stay at home and keep yourself healthy and safe. We all know that we have discussed the topic models of an atom, which is given by J.J. Thomson and Rutherford. So, in today's video, we are going to revise the same topic which we have done during online session. Let's begin with the revision of the previous topic. Let's begin with our first model of an atom, which is given by J.J. Thomson. He has proposed his model of an atom in 1903. At that time, only electrons and protons were known to be present in the atom. According to his model, an atom consists of a sphere of positive charge in which negatively charged electrons embedded. According to his model, the positive and negative charged particles in an atom are equal in magnitude, due to which an atom is electrically neutral. Or we can say that overall, the atom does not have any positive or negative charge. Thomson model of an atom is similar to that of Christmas pudding. The electrons embedded in a sphere of positive charge are like dry fruits in a spherical Christmas pudding. We can also compare the model to a watermelon. The red edible part of a watermelon represents the sphere of positive charge, whereas the black seeds of watermelon are like the electrons. Although Thomson model of an atom explained the electrically neutral nature of atom, but it could not explain the results of various experiments which were carried out by other scientists such as Rutherford. Let's understand the J.J. Thomson model of an atom with the help of upcoming video.
In this module, you will learn about Thomson's model of an atom. After the discovery of electrons and protons in an atom, the next challenge in front of scientists was to know about their arrangement inside the atom. Sir J.J. Thomson was the first one to address this problem. Thomson proposed that an atom consists of a positively charged sphere that is made of protons. All electrons of the atom are embedded in this sphere. Moreover, according to him, the negatively and positively charged particles, or in other words, the number of electrons and protons, were equal. This model was also known as the watermelon or plum pudding model because of its similarity with these two. The seeds of the watermelon can be equated to the electrons or the negatively charged particles, and the red mass can be equated to the protons or the positively charged sphere. Similarly, in a plum pudding, the raisins can be considered as the electrons and the remaining portion can be considered as the positively charged sphere.
We will now understand the next topic, that is Rutherford's experiment, which is also known as alpha scattering experiment. It led to the discovery of positively charged nucleus in an atom. Before we describe Rutherford's experiment, we should know the meaning of alpha particles. Basically, these alpha particles are positively charged particles having atomic mass 4 units and atomic number 2 units. It is actually a helium ion, that is He2 positive. They are emitted by radioactive elements like radium, polonium, etc. The fast moving alpha particles are having very high amount of energy. Even they can penetrate through any matter up to some extent. In this experiment, the scientists have used gold foil because the gold foil is the most malleable element. It is a thin sheet of gold. Alpha particles are very smaller even than gold atom present in the gold foil. Now let's describe the alpha scattering experiment. When these fast moving alpha particles are allowed to strike a very thin gold foil which is kept in a vacuum, the scientists have observed some points. Let's discuss those points. As you can see from the slide, most of the alpha particles pass straight through the gold foil without any deflection from their original path. A few alpha particles are deflected through small angles and few are deflected through large angles. In fact, very few alpha particles are there which were completely rebound on hitting the gold foil and turn back on their path, just as a ball which rebounds back on hitting a hard wall. Rutherford has explained these observations in the following way. In fact, we can say that Rutherford has made his conclusions on the basis of observations which we have discussed. As we know that gold foil is made up of atoms. If the atoms were solid throughout their volume, then every alpha particle which are striking them should change its path and it should got deflected. But most of the alpha particles pass straight through the gold foil without any deflection. It shows that there is a lot of empty space in an atom. We know that similar charges repel each other. So, a positively charged body will repel another positively charged body. The observation that some of the alpha particles are deflected through small and large angles shows that there is a center of positive charge in the atom of gold, which is repelling the positively charged alpha particles. That's why these alpha particles deflect from their original path. This center of positive charge in an atom is known as nucleus. Thus, we can say that the scattering of alpha particles by a thin gold foil shows the existence of positively charged nucleus in an atom. A very few alpha particles are turned back on their path. This fact cannot be explained on the basis of repulsion due to positively charged, but it can be explained by assuming that nucleus is hard and very dense, so that the observation which is saying that very few alpha particles completely rebound on hitting the gold foil shows that nucleus is hard as well as it is dense, which does not allow alpha particles to pass through it. Since the nucleus is very dense, so we can say that the whole mass of an atom is centered at its nucleus. As the number of alpha particles which were deflected are very small, so we can say that the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom. So from our discussion, we conclude that Rutherford's alpha particle scattering experiment shows the presence of nucleus in an atom. It also gives the following important information about the nucleus of an atom. The nucleus of an atom is a positively charged. Nucleus of an atom is very dense and hard. In fact, the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of atom. Let's understand the alpha scattering experiment through a upcoming video.
Rutherford and his students Hans Geiger and Ernest Marsden bombarded very thin gold foil, nearly 1000 atoms thick, with alpha particles or helium rays positively charged, produced from radioactive decay of radon. Rutherford's famous alpha particle scattering experiment. A stream of high-energy alpha particles from a radioactive source was directed at a thin foil, thickness less than 100 nanometer of gold metal. The thin gold foil had a circular fluorescent zinc sulfide screen around it. Whenever alpha particles struck the screen, a tiny flash of light was produced at that point. The results of scattering experiment were quite unexpected. If Thomson's plum pudding model was to be accurate, the big alpha particles should have passed through the gold foil with only a few minor deflections. This is because the alpha particles are heavy and the charge in the plum pudding model is widely spread. However, the actual results surprised Rutherford. Although many of the alpha particles did pass through as expected, many others were deflected at large angles, while others were reflected back to the alpha source. It was observed that one, most of the alpha particles passed through the gold foil undeflected. 2. A small fraction of the alpha particles was deflected by small angles. 3. A very few alpha particles, less than 1 in 20,000, bounced back, that is, were deflected by nearly 180 degrees.
I hope you have understood alpha scattering experiment. On the basis of this experiment, Rutherford gave a nuclear model which is known as Rutherford's model of an atom, which can be described as follows. An atom consists of positively charged center which is known as nucleus. We can also say that the mass of the atom centered in this nucleus only. This nucleus is surrounded by negatively charged electrons, and these electrons are revolving in their circular path known as orbits at very high speed. The electrostatic force of attraction between the positively charged nucleus and negatively charged electrons holds the atom together. Please go through this topic one more time, and for further query you may ask during your online session. Thank you so much. Stay safe and healthy.